Hi, I'm an old guy and I do maths. Today we're looking at the idea of angles of elevation and depression. And I'm hoping that what you see on the screen is fairly self-explanatory, but I will go through this because it does cause a degree of difficulty, no pun intended. So here we have a flat surface, shall we say, and we have a line or some such thing rising from that. The important word is rising. So in relation to this flat plane here, this is an angle of elevation. Think of it as rising up from this flat plane. Okay, so strictly speaking, that is an angle of elevation. It's not often how you see this illustrated in textbooks. We'll come to that in a minute. Now, what we can say in relation to this is where we have a flat plane and a line coming down like this, we have what is called an angle of depression. So you have to think of these in relation to the line or the plane or whatever it is that they come from. So this comes from this and it's going up, it's an angle of elevation. This comes from this and it's going down, it's an angle of depression. Now, what you tend to see in textbooks dealing with this when you're starting out, usually in the middle years of high school or perhaps early high school, is you see drawings like this, two parallel lines and a line connecting them. Now, I'm going to draw in the angles of depression and elevation. So we'll label, this is depression, so we'll label that D, and this is elevation, so we'll label that E. And I think that you can see, hopefully you can see, that basically it's just a combination of what went on here. Now, because these lines are parallel, there are some interesting features. So, if we say that this angle here is 40 degrees, then this angle up here will be 40 degrees. That's 40 and a little degree sign. Okay, so it's not 400. Oh, that's badly written. Let's try and make that a little clearer. So 40 degrees, 40 degrees. Provided these lines are parallel, and these little arrows here mean that these lines are parallel. Okay, so that's something that's handy to know. Where you have a line joining two parallel lines like this, the angle of elevation will equal the angle of depression, so you can work it out fairly simply. Now, there are a couple of other things to note, or at least one other thing. If we go looking for this angle here, there's a rule that says that the angles on a straight line, so this is a straight line here, this angle and this angle must add up to 180 degrees. So this angle here is equal to 180 degrees minus 40, so it is 140 degrees, as is, if I extend this line here, badly, and draw in this, as is this is 140 degrees. Because these two angles must add to 180, this is a little bonus lesson in geometry. These two angles must add up to 180, these two angles must add up to 180. And what I want you to notice is, because these two angles are the same, these two angles are the same. And there's a whole lesson available on my channel about this, so we're not going to get into the technicalities of it. It's just a handy thing to know, provided these lines are parallel. And nearly always when you're doing problems involving angles of elevation and depression, you're dealing with parallel lines. Anyway, the purpose of this video is just to acquaint you with the concept and explain a couple of little features that are useful when you're dealing with these. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.